Tonalic behaves much like a real musician would. So, to play along with your song idea, it needs chords it can follow. Luckily, there are plenty of ways to find the right chords for you. This is the chord track that controls all Tonalic tracks. Just double-click in the chord track and type the chords in one by one. Or you can download MIDI chord packs. There are tons out there. Just drag the MIDI file onto the chord track and you're good to go. You can also use great tools such as Captain Chords or Scalar 3, which guide you through creating progressions to your taste. And in the end, let you simply drag them onto Tonalic's chord track. And keep in mind, existing MIDI tracks, particularly piano or bass, also often provide the chords needed. Or you can simply take the chord progressions you heard while previewing certain Tonalics. Just open the preview window and drag them out from there. Another option, open the Chord Assistant by clicking on the chord icon, which also shows the current chord input for Tonalic. The Chord Assistant always suggests chords that fit the selected key. The different colors show how well each chord works in relation to the current one. This way, you can build great sounding progressions quickly without worrying too much about the music theory. Orange means obvious choice. Brown means this could sound spicy, and gray would be a more unusual choice, but could give the progression an interesting turn. In the chord options, you can also switch to scale degrees or choose to always show 7th chords. And of course, you can edit chords here anytime. Just double-click, enter a chord, and those chords will then be saved for your current song. If you already know what you want, you can play the progressions chord by chord directly on your MIDI keyboard, either by playing full chords or just the root notes, and Tonalic will add the appropriate triads. Tonalic can handle any chord. Major, minor, and 7ths are straightforward. Power chords, chords without a third, are written with a 5. If you want a different bass note than the root, just write it as a slash chord. And of course, you can add any extensions like 9th, 11th, or sus chords. But whether those extensions actually get played depends on the Tonalic you're using. Not every Tonalic can handle every request, especially simpler ones or motifs, because they may not have enough notes available or because it would break their musicality. If you are missing anything you really want to hear, it's sometimes best to try another Tonalic. Or if you really need a specific extension or note, you can always switch to Refine mode in the Studio Edition and adjust the notes you want manually. Double-click to create a new chord. You can move and resize it, duplicate by holding Option on a Mac, Alt on Windows, or delete it with backspace. When you move or resize chords, snapping depends on your zoom level and the corresponding grid. If you want to anticipate a chord, drag the chord's border to the left, either at the beginning or in the middle of a bar. The arrow will indicate that Tonalic is now following the anticipated chord. And of course, once you do this, all Tonalic tracks will follow the anticipation automatically. If you don't want that for a specific Tonalic, you can disable it here. This switch only appears if you actually have an anticipated chord in the chord track. Now, this Tonalic just keeps playing straight through. Right-click a chord to access selection and duplicate options. And very useful here is the Transpose option, which also works for multi-selection. But if you transpose entire song parts, the key of course might need to change too. And when you transpose more than 3 bars, Tonalic will automatically adjust the key for you. You don't need to do anything else. But of course, there are situations where you might want to add key changes manually. Here you can see the current key. Click it to set it manually or let Tonalic detect it automatically. That usually works pretty well too. But Tonalic's auto feature doesn't insert key changes on its own. You'll need to do that manually. Open the key track here. Double-click to set a new key, and if you're still on auto, Tonalic will also find the key by analyzing the chords for the new key section. If you don't want that, just disable auto for your song. You can also right-click in the key track to get the typical context options. And that wraps up chords in Tonalic. Explore, try out different chords and see what inspires you. And don't forget to watch our other videos to find out more about Tonalic.